In a small town in the Philippines, a young singer named Miguel had been practicing Elvis Presley songs in secret. Known among his friends for his love of classic rock and roll, he had never performed in front of a large audience. But when a local talent competition announced auditions, Miguel decided it was time to step out of the shadows. Nervous but determined, he walked onto the stage in a simple outfit, clutching the microphone as the crowd murmured with curiosity. The first few notes of "Can't Help Falling in Love" floated into the auditorium, and something magical happened. Miguel's voice captured the unmistakable warmth and charm of Elvis, yet carried a unique, modern twist that made it entirely his own. The judges, initially skeptical, exchanged surprised glances as the audience erupted in applause. Every gesture, from his hip swivel to his soulful expressions, seemed to channel the king of rock and roll. By the end of his performance, the room was electrified. Miguel had not only impressed the judges but had also captivated everyone watching, proving that talent knows no borders. Episode 1 ends with Miguel walking off stage, unsure of what the future holds, but certain that his journey as the Filipino Elvis had just begun. After Miguel's stunning audition, videos of his performance began circulating online. Within hours, clips of the Filipino Elvis had gone viral, racking up millions of views. Social media was buzzing. Fans from all over the world were sharing, commenting, and cheering for this young singer who had seemingly appeared out of nowhere. Hashtags like #Filipino Elvis and #Unexpected Star began trending, and news outlets picked up the story, calling Miguel a rising international sensation. Back home, Miguel was overwhelmed. His small town felt like it was suddenly in the global spotlight. He received messages from fans, fellow musicians, and even professional vocal coaches offering guidance and praise. But fame was a double-edged sword. The pressure to perform perfectly at the next competition weighed heavily on him. Doubts crept in. Could he live up to the hype? Determined not to let fear control him, Miguel spent days rehearsing, studying Elvis's movements, and adding his personal flair to each song. He realized that to truly succeed, he had to stay authentic, blending the spirit of Elvis with his own voice. Episode 2 ends with Miguel boarding a plane for the next round of the competition, nervous but ready to face a much larger stage, and a much larger audience. Miguel arrived at the Grand Arena for the next round of the competition, greeted by blinding lights, roaring crowds, and the hum of cameras. Unlike the small-town auditorium he was used to, this stage was massive, with thousands of eyes watching and millions more following live online. The pressure was immense, but Miguel reminded himself of why he started: his love for music and his dream to honor Elvis in his own way. Backstage, other contestants were preparing, each brimming with confidence and unique talent. Miguel felt a twinge of doubt. Could he really stand out among such fierce competition? But when his name was called, he stepped forward, took a deep breath, and let the music guide him. The moment his voice hit the first note, the arena fell silent. Miguel moved with the charisma of Elvis but infused every lyric with his own emotion, telling a story that captivated both judges and audience alike. By the final note, the crowd erupted in thunderous applause. The judges, visibly moved, gave standing ovations, praising Miguel's authenticity, technique, and stage presence. Cameras captured every smile, every tear. Episode 3 ends with Miguel backstage, hearing whispers of "winner" and "star," realizing that his journey was no longer just local. It was truly global. The final episode opened with Miguel preparing for the most important performance of his life. The stakes were higher than ever. This stage would determine not just the competition's winner, but also the future of the Filipino Elvis. Fans from around the world had been following his journey, cheering him on, and now the spotlight was entirely on him. As Miguel stepped onto the stage, a hush fell over the audience. He took a deep breath, remembering every challenge he had faced: the small-town auditions, the viral videos, the doubts and nerves. Then, with confidence and passion, he launched into his signature Elvis medley. Every note was precise, every gesture magnetic. He didn't just perform. He told a story of perseverance, talent, and heart. By the final chorus, the audience was on its feet, screaming and applauding, tears streaming down many faces. The judges, some visibly emotional, could hardly contain their admiration. When the announcement came, Miguel had won, the arena erupted in jubilation. Cameras captured the tears of joy on his face as he waved to fans and embraced the judges. Episode 4 ended with Miguel looking out at the cheering crowd, realizing his dream had come true. He had become the Filipino Elvis, not just in voice, but in spirit. His journey had inspired millions, and this was only the beginning.